Hi, my name is Sheree Meyer. I'm the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters here at Sacramento State. I like to joke that I had a 5-year plan, and my husband keeps asking me when that plan actually started. But it did start in that moment, and some of the things have been accomplished, and some of the things are still in progress, and some of the things are still on a wish list. But I think part of what has happened is that we have gotten much more fully involved in, for example, anchor initiatives, right? So we had always brought the community to Sac State and gone out into the community, but not as intentionally and strategically, and not as recognized or visible as I wanted us to be. So one of the goals was definitely to make sure that we were working both in and with the community. And we've done a lot more of that. I mean, the other night, for example, I was down at the newly renovated Performing Arts Complex, the SAFE Performing Arts Complex. And 3 of our dance students performed for a video, and 3 of our musicians performed for the architect's promotional video. That's being out there, not only giving our students an opportunity to perform, but actually giving back to the community that has given us those opportunities. So that's been part of the experience. We've been doing a lot of work also with diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice, as well as anti-racism, improving our own awareness, but also really looking critically at our curriculum, our culture, our policies and procedures, and our faculty hiring. So I think we've made progress, but we have a ways to go. Student success, again, we set up our SAGE, which is our Student Success Center. We moved it from a smaller facility here in Mariposa to a larger facility across the way in Calaveras Hall. We added faculty fellows, student services personnel, and this year we added Arts and Letters ambassadors, which are students who are now finishing up that 3-legged stool. So that's just a brief overview of some of the things we've done. Early on, I had attended a city meeting on our street with the mayor and a number of other bigwigs. There were folks from UC Davis, there were folks from Sac City Unified School District, and what I noticed is that there wasn't anybody from Sac State on that podium, nor was Sac State even mentioned. And this was to jumpstart the creative economy and the new strategic plan for the arts. That was the moment that I realized that despite all the work we were doing, we weren't visible. We weren't on the map. So I meant that both literally. We were also just beginning to prepare for opening the downtown center. But I also meant that figuratively, is we had to get our story out. We had to, our folks were already in the community, but they weren't necessarily being recognized for the work that we were doing. So it has to do with telling our story. It has to do with getting involved and partnering with other arts organizations and cultural organizations in the community. So that means joining boards, that means networking, that means those kinds of things. And then it means really physically getting off campus, going beyond J Street. So we've been doing that by improving our reach with things like our 2 signature events, which are Unite, the University Night at the Crocker Art Museum, which will be held again in person this year on November 10th, back at the Crocker. And then the Festival of the Arts in the spring, which includes both campus events as well as You Create, which is downtown at the Verge. Well, number 1, we survived COVID. Although we're still in the midst of it. And I mention that partly because it's had not just a huge impact on all of our students, but we had to find creative solutions for our arts programs in the absence of live performances and live exhibitions. And they did it, right? We were very grateful for her federal funding that allowed us to purchase cameras and microphones and to do more live streaming than ever. But I think it's really important to know that we not only survived, but we're thriving, even as we're back. We've made a number of facilities improvements, which I think are also critical. We've got an aging infrastructure here on campus. So we have new seating and carpeting in the University Theater, right behind that beautiful wide open walls Sacramento mural that's now like everywhere to brand Sacramento. So they have some new facilities. We also have new seating and carpeting in our concert hall. We are in the process of finishing up renovations on Kadima Hall, our art building. And hopefully no later than spring, we will be breaking ground on a new art sculpture lab. So even as my personal dream is a new visual and arts performing complex where I can put everybody under one roof, we're making progress in giving our students the facilities they need. So one of the things that's really important to the college, partly because we operate both as an educational institution and an arts organization, and in order to do both of those, we've got to continue to pursue increased philanthropy, right? So fundraising, working closely with advancement and development to bring in additional scholarships to address our students' needs. I was really thrilled today. We were able to let the CSU has a summer arts program, and the college will be providing some scholarships that will then be matched by summer arts so that 5 of our students will be able to actually study in Germany this summer. That's the work we need to do, that kind of global engagement that improves intercultural competence, but gives our students the financial resources. The other kind of financial resources that speaks directly to some of the work that we're doing with ORIED is we need to help our faculty get the grants and receive foundational support so that they can continue to do the kinds of programming like the Festival of New American Music, which for over 40 years has brought cutting-edge artists to this campus. So those are the things. As the state kind of underwrites a portion, but not as much, even of student tuition, we need to step up and find those alternative resources, work with our arts and culture nonprofit organizations, as I said, to find resources for paid internships so that our students know that what they do has value. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking to continue my personal work on, and that leadership development of all of our faculty is to say, yes, I can continue to do these things, but I might have to look for alternative resources.